What's up everyone, this is Tranquil Toys. Today, I'm taking a look at the Nendoroid, Cuphead, and Mugman figures. It's been a while since I did my review on the 1000 Toys Cuphead figure. These are the only other Cuphead figures that are actually posable and come with different accessories and different hands and different expressions. So I'm going to see how they stack up with that 1000 Toys figure. If you're a Cuphead fan, you're going to have to watch the whole video to find out if these are the best Cuphead toys on the market right now. I'm going to take a closer look at the figures, the detail in the sculpt, the painting, and the accessories that each figure comes with. Then we'll get into their articulation, then we'll do some comparisons, and I'll give my final thoughts on these figures. So to start off, of course, we're going to start with the Player 1, the Cuphead. And these designs are based off the video game, not the cartoon show. I don't know if you guys are fans of the show. I wasn't really a fan of the show. I'm a fan of the video game. These figures are $65 on Big Bad Toy Store. The sculpt and detail is really good. The paint on the straw is pretty good. It kind of misses the sculpt marks on the lines of the straw just a tiny bit. I think you can see that on the camera pretty good. And you also got the milk inside of the Cuphead, which is done pretty good. So the cool thing about this figure is that everything is actually sculpted, so you can feel the edges of the eyes are sculpted, and the nose is of course sculpted, the cheeks, the mouth, and the tongue are also all sculpted into the figure and also painted very nicely. So it's one of the positives of this figure over the 1000 Toys figure, because the 1000 Toys figure just had everything pretty much painted on there. But this is actually sculpted and painted. So that really makes the figure look 10 times better. And then you have his arms and his chest, just black plastic, which is good. A hole in the back for the stand. Then you have his shorts, which again, nicely sculpted, nicely done. It's accurate to the source material. Then you have his legs, which are just white plastic. And then his shoes, which are also sculpted nicely. These figures are kind of top heavy, and the feet don't really sit flat on the ground, so the figures can fall over. So it's just much better to use the stand. Here's the Mugman figure. Pretty much the same as the Cuphead, just blue. And his eyes are different. His nose is different. It's a lot bigger, more bulbous. His eyes are a different shape as well, and that's also sculpted in. His mouth is a different shape, and again, that's also sculpted in, so that's always nice. Something else I have to mention here is that the marks on the back of the glove on the 1000 Toys figures, they were actually painted black, and they're kind of long compared to the ones on the Nendoroid here. It's just not painted, just white plastic. So that is one difference. I don't know which one's accurate. And pretty much the same as the Cuphead figure. You just got the black body, and this time blue shorts. So everything's, for the most part, the same. And the accessories for both the figures are basically the same. There are some differences in terms of the expressions and things like that. But here's where the figures really shine, in my opinion. A lot of potential for the playability and the poses that you can do, and just the fun that you can have with these figures. A lot more fun already than the 1000 Toys Cuphead. So first I'll go over the accessories for Cuphead. First thing is he comes with an alternate faceplate. He has a more determined look, more serious look. He's a little bit angry. You know, he's angry with the devil. That's also done very nicely. The teeth are not sculpted, but the outside of the mouth is. And again, the outside of the eyes are sculpted. And of course the nose. So this is very good. Then he also has his evil face. It's also done with the same level of detail, and his teeth are sculpted. And even his tongue is sculpted. And again, his eyes. So that's awesome that they sculpted everything on the face. It really does make everything look a lot better. And then you have his hair, or the top of his head, when you put that face on. I'll show you that in a second. And that's also painted very nicely. You have the lighter orange going into the darker orange, so that's also done very nicely. And then he has a hand holding the straw. You cannot take the straw out of the hand. And again, this is for his evil form. And the painting is pretty good. It misses the sculpt a little bit. Just misses it by a tiny bit. And he comes with an alternate boot, so you can pose him like he's running. It does come with a pea shooter effect for one of his hands, you know, where he's pointing his finger, shooting. So this is also done a pretty good translucent plastic. So I like the way they did that. And here's his pea shooting hand, or it's just a basic pointer finger. It does have a hole at the end, and there's nothing you can put there to plug that hole. So he's always going to have a hole at the end of his finger. But that's where the effect goes in. Then he comes with an extra arm with a fist. So you can take the fist off and put it on the straight arm that he has now. So you have different posing options. And then they give you a bag with the stand. So here's the purple shorts for his evil form. We'll take that out and I'll put that all together in a second. And then a pea shooter blast. And I'll show you how that works in a second as well. And you got the stand with different parts, an extra joint there just in case you break one, some other parts for the stand, and we'll get into that later also. So the accessories for Mugman are pretty similar, but the expressions are different. So here's the first expression for Mugman. Similar to the Cuphead one, he's more serious here. And actually the teeth are sculpted, so before I said they weren't sculpted, but now that I'm feeling it again, the teeth are actually sculpted in there. So again, I'm really glad that they decided to sculpt. They didn't take the cheap route with anything here. You actually are getting for what you're paying for, which is really cool. And you got his evil face, so his teeth are closed here. The Cuphead one, his mouth was open. Everything's sculpted, everything's painted very nicely. And you got the top of his head, same as the Cuphead one. 2 spread out hands and 2 straight arms. And he also comes with a posed boot, so you can pose him like he's running. Comes with a fist, and then the hand holding the straw. Then he also has the purple shorts with another pea shooter effect, and all the parts that go with the stand. So now here's how you switch the faces out. It's pretty easy. Grip the front of his face here and detach it from the back of his face, and then you have this. Make sure you don't lose this. You want to take his fire hair and put it into the ridges right there. Then you want to take his evil face, click that into the back of his face. So that's what that looks like. This head is a lot heavier because of the hair, or because of the fire on top. So he's a more top heavy and harder to stand up. So you're really going to need to use a stand there. And the switch is shorts out. The figure just comes apart at the waist. So it's actually really hard to take his shorts off. I had to heat it up, and then it comes off easily. And then you take the purple shorts, plug it in. It goes in pretty easy. So that's what the evil Cuphead looks like. And that looks pretty cool. And so there's what they both look like in their evil forms. And that's pretty cool. I really like how they both look. The one negative though is switching out the shorts. It is really hard. I had to heat up both of them in order to switch them out. So I feel like they could have made that easier. But so you got to be careful when you're switching them out. If you use too much force, you could probably break the joint, scratch the paint or something. So you got to be careful when you're doing that. So here I got them back to normal now. Now I'll quickly show you how the stands work. So basically you have a square with a bunch of holes in it. You take one of the arms of the stand, you plug it in whatever hole you want, and this goes to the back of the figure. And you get another armature for the stand, and then you put the pea shooter effect on it. So then you get something like this. So you got extra little stand with another armature. I'm not sure where this goes. You can also put the other pea shooter effect on it. So then you can put 3 pea shooter blasts in a row. So this also shows you that you don't have to have the second pea shooter effect on the stand. You could have it off the stand on its own little display stand. So, just more options to do different things. So now I'll get into articulation. We're going to look at Cuphead. So the first thing is that all the joints are pretty much the same. They look like this, but they're different sizes. So that's pretty much what all the joints look like. So the movement is going to be pretty much the same throughout every limb and through the head as well. So the liquid on top of the cup also rotates. The same goes with the fire. When you have the fire in, it also rotates. You can't really look up. His cup head gets in the way of him looking up any further than that. You can look down a little bit more, so it's nice. You can look at the ground. And then it also swivels 360 around, no problem. There is no tilt, but what you can do is you can rotate the joint around, and then you can get a little bit of tilt, but now you can't get that forward and back movement on the head. You can only get the side to side, and shoulders are the same. Here you can move it forward and back like that. It can fall off pretty easily if you're not careful. And the same thing if you want it the other direction, you rotate it the other direction, then you can get the up and down movement like that. And it also swivels all around, but his giant cup head gets in the way. And then the wrist, again, same joint, so you can move it in and out. It swivels, and then you turn the joint and you can hinge it the other way. Torso articulation, it's on a ball joint, and you can get it not really forward a whole lot. It goes back a little bit more than forward. So again, something that you just have to work around. He can move side to side in there a little bit, not too much, but I think it's enough to get a little bit more posing options out of that. And then his leg, again, same joint. You can move it back that far, move it forward that far, which is not that bad. And then again, you rotate the joint, and then you can move in that far and then out that far. So it's not too bad. And then the same thing at the ankle. pivots up that far, hinges back pretty far, so it's nice for jumping poses. And then you rotate the joint inside that far so you can pretty much break his ankle there, and then that far the other side. So overall, pretty good range of motion, pretty much what you'd expect from a Nendoroid figure. All Nendoroids are pretty much like that. And now we'll get into some comparisons. Here he is making his return to the channel, and you can just see how odd it looks, like the weird, the way the joints are. It's really weird. This is a lot better looking. It's seamless and just looks a lot more cartoony. Looks like the actual game. This just looks like some kind of creepy, weird guy in a costume, which is kind of creepy to think about. And the way that they did the mouth was horrible, and you can see I have a giant scratch on the mouth right there. But it's not sculpted. The mouth is not sculpted. It's just painted on there. It's like a sticker or something. So I think it's really dumb the way they designed that figure. And for more size comparisons, here they are next to World and Nintendo Mario. I'm not sure how tall the Cuphead people are supposed to be. If there was some sort of Mario Cuphead crossover, maybe they would be close to the same height like this. But again, I'm not sure. We've never seen Cuphead next to, characters from other universes. Here they are next to a Marvel Legends Iron Man. And so as you'd expect, Iron Man's going to be a lot taller than them. And I think the scaling is pretty good. Normally Nendoroid figures are shorter, but for some characters, they fit better within the Nendoroid scale. And these are some of those characters that work well within the Nendoroid style and scale. So this looks pretty cool. It's not going to look too weird on your shelf if you collect Cuphead and Marvel Legends or just figures of other sizes. And then for the 7-inch scale, here's a Warhammer figure from McFarlane Toys, and that looks kind of cool. And here's how they scale with the only other Nendoroid figures I have in my collection right now, and these are the Non Biori Nendoroid figures, and so they're pretty much the same height. They're a little bit taller because they're on stands, so they're pretty much the same height. Then of course you can switch the heads between any of the Nendoroids, and you can get some cool stuff like this. You can also get some creepy stuff like that. So I've been having a lot of fun with these guys, posing them around, playing with them, having them interact with some other figures that I have, and it's just been really fun because these have been characters that deserve, good figures, and the 1,000 Toys was really disappointing. That's why I never picked up the Mugman, but here you have Cuphead and Mugman in a good figure form. These are definitely the best Cuphead figures on the market right now. So if you're a Cuphead fan and you want fun toys to play with, these are definitely the ones you should get. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think about these figures, if you're going to pick them up or not, or if you have them. Let me know what you think about them. Let me know what you think about this review. And that's all I got to say, guys. I'll see you in the next one.
Hey, it's my best friends, Cuphead and Mugman. What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going, Mario?
Hey, Mario, we're doing real swell. Hey, you should use this mushroom. It'll help you guys to beat the devil.
Wow, magic mushroom. Hey, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. Whoa, be careful, Cuphead. You remember what the Elder Kettle said about magic, right?
Wow, look at that.
Golly, it actually worked. Wow, look at this, Mugman. Hey, you know what? 2 tough guys are better than 1. Why don't you take one of those mushrooms? I don't know about this, Cuphead. Whoa! I can't believe it. He turned him into an actual cup. That's pretty crazy. I didn't expect that to happen.
Wow, it's my lucky day. Free coffee.
Hey, put that cup down. That's my brother you're drinking right there.
What are you doing? Are you guys talking to me? I can't really hear you because I'm drinking this coffee.
Whoa, stop drinking my brother. That's weird. Stop.
If you guys are trying to talk to me, I'm sorry. I can't hear you.
Listen, man, you better put that cup down or else something bad's gonna happen. Hey, come on, man. This guy's got rocks for brains. He's totally off his rocker.
Crazy.
Oh, man, I hope my brother's okay.